Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh. All right. So, oh, Brian's here. I'm going to let him in. So, I just wanted to go over for people getting started, what we have, what the system that we have, Paul. And I thank you so much for being here, for taking the time right after the holidays.
Okay.
So yeah, hi Brian. Hi Gordy. Sorry.
Hey Peg, can I say something real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much for that promo on the Facebook page. That was very, very professional.
Oh.
And I saw it this morning and I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. So thank you so much.
Oh, that's awesome. That makes me really happy to hear that. Yeah, we really, and that's just kind of a display of how we really all work together. Like all those people that are saying welcome may have nothing to do with you financially, but everyone, we all seamlessly work together and support each other. So I love that. But I wanted to let you guys know that there are a lot of ways to build this. There is social media. It's free. It's a great marketing platform, and we have a system for using it that is very tasteful. And then there's also face-to-face, and there's taprooting, digging into your network, which we can help you with. So I want to introduce you to Paul because he's incredibly brilliant and helpful, and really wants to see everyone succeed. So Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone. I hope everyone had a great holiday. What we're going to do is, Peg, if you can give me the ability to share, maybe either make me a co-host or the ability to share my screen. And I'm going to ask you guys, I know there's some background noise, if you guys could just mute out a little bit, and anytime you feel you want to ask a question, this is not, I don't care about the recording. I care about the people that are here listening right now. So if you want to just blurt out a question, say, hey, Paul, stop right there. Explain that to me because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. That's exactly, that is absolutely okay. All right. I want to tell you, there's no formality here because this is a home-based business. The more complicated you make this, or the more formal you try to make it, every time you introduce someone else to it, they're going to say, oh my God, this is too formal. This is really, you have to understand that there's got to be a certain amount of comfort around this business for people to do it. Somebody's got a little bit of feedback.
Gordy, if you can mute yourself out.
I muted. I'll mute everybody, but please,
okay.
When you look at your screen, figure out how to do the unmute. All right, Gordy, I'm going to actually mute you. Gordy, I muted you because there's some sort of a feedback or something going on. But again, feel free to unmute and ask any question you want. Mr. Yuri's back. I don't know what that's all about, Peg, but I'm gonna. It's okay. So again, the biggest mistake people make in this thing, because it is a business, okay? But I refrain in the beginning to talk about business, because everyone feels then, well, let me get all set up. Let me make sure I have it. If you saw my desk right now, it's an absolute disaster. I have everything from empty bottles of product, Korean flags, because I'm building in Korea. It's all over the place. If you put too many barriers between you and your first steps in getting started, I will tell you, you're setting yourself up for failure. For two reasons. Number one, if you think there's so much that needs to be done before you can say hello to the first person, it's going to delay your success. It's going to become frustrating. And the second thing you're doing is you're showing people that, yeah, I got in, I've been in for a couple of weeks, and now, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 2 books. And then after I read 2 books, I hate to say it, but people don't have that kind of time. Not only you might not have that kind of time, but the people you're talking to need something that's not another job. And the more we present this as another job, because you have to do this, and this is a very simple business. I can't stress this enough because it's the #1 mistake people make. I took 3 months. I'm not saying this because I'm a genius. I'm saying it because I waited 3 months before I started building this business. My wife had to wait. We waited till we got a product result. I really wasn't interested in the business. I was really kind of a glorified customer. I wasn't so sure about this as an industry, that kind of stuff. So Gord, did you have something to say?
No, I was just fooling with my screen. That's all. I apologize.
Okay. No, it's okay. So what I've figured out is you got to hit the ground running, because you'll learn as you go, and you can rely on everybody else on this call, especially Peg and I in the beginning, to do all the other stuff for you. Now, I'm not going to find you the people, right? I'm not going to say hello to the people for you, and nor is Peg. But once you say hello to them and say, hey, I got something I'd love to show you, we can come in and take it from there. That's all you need to know in the beginning, because you've already seen the business. You kind of get a handle on it. You kind of think you want to do it. And I'm going to say that you kind of think you're still not 100%. That's okay. But understand that everyone you talk to is going to go through the same thing. All right. But now that you're in, the most important thing I can tell you is we're going to go through some of my screens now and kind of get you guys started. Okay. Because there's a lot of stuff that may seem like confusing to you. All right. Now, Peg, this is very, very old, but I need you to watch it because we got to change things around. Okay. As you can see, this is the old bottle, and that's how old this is. This is like really, really old. But one thing I want you to do is you have a back office, right? We're going to talk to you about how to link into the back office and see it, but look around, get comfortable, click on everything. You won't make a mistake. You won't do anything, but you could get in your back office and start looking around. It's not the first thing you have to do, but instead of like when you're through a day and you just want to relax and like kind of spend a little bit of time on your business without getting a little bit too overwhelmed, I need you to look around the back office. Okay. What you don't understand will become more and more understandable to you as you start growing. You got somebody in, you're going to say, well, Peg, I just got somebody in and I need to place them. We have a thing called the holding tank where you can position them wherever you want in your business. How do I do that? We learn by reacting to the task we performed, not necessarily trying to figure it all out first. It's absolutely not necessary. It's not a sales pitch. It's not a thing where I'm trying to get you to go out and make me money. It's how you're going to go out and start making yourself money. Okay. Trust me, it's going to be a long time before you show up on my radar financially. All right. But I could show up on your radar financially like today. I could actually literally get on a call with you today, start talking to this with someone, and you will make money, right? Because we have two ways that we make money right away in this business. Number one is a customer. If a customer comes in and buys from you today, by next Friday, you will get a check for that. We get paid 1 week in arrears, right? So if somebody comes in and they buy a bottle at retail, you make $45 for that. You never touch the product. You never do anything. You send them to your website. They buy it. You'll see the order go through. In fact, in your back office, you could even set up that you're getting emails from the company every time someone new joins your team. Guess what? I even know when someone joins Peg's team. So you'll be able to know that the people that are in your downline, when they bring someone in, you can get notified about that. And that's something you learn in your back office. Okay. Again, I'd rather have you ask us how to set that up after you sponsor your first person. All right. Now, the second thing is I need you to start building a handwritten list. I'm not kidding. I use these dollar store composition books, and I make lists of people that I'm going to talk to because no one ever comes off my list. I said no to this industry for 10 years. I have friends that have been in the industry for over 15, 20 years. They made a lot of money in the industry. And for 10 years of them talking to me and asking me and following up with me, I said no for 10 years. And now here I am, one of the top distributors in the world in this company. And I didn't want to do it for 10 years. So you never know what's going to happen in people's lives to change them. I was going into semi-retirement. I wanted something. I enjoyed working with people. I love to train and coach and help. So that's really what it meant to me, right? And it turned into a seven-figure income for me, okay? Do the math on those zeros. So I'm not saying that's for everybody, but you know, you'll figure out what's the magic number for you. I said, look, if we can get you making $40 a week or even $20 a week out of this thing, and then you'll learn how to take 20 and turn 20 into 40 and 40 into 80 and 80 into 120. You'll figure that out. All right. Once you get the system down, the list is important. And the list can be anything from your plumber's wife, your high school quarterback, you know, a cheerleader that you knew 20 years ago. But here's what I will tell you. While those are good, I would consider that your warm market. Your warm market are people who already know you, and you just need to describe to them what you're doing. The cold market are people you don't even know. People on social media, maybe you're friends with them, but you're really not friends with them because they clicked on your name and you clicked on their name. That is where the future of this business is for you. And the reason I say the future of this business is there for you because, and I tell the story all the time, Peg is probably sick of hearing it. And by the time you're sick of hearing this story, you'll have a business. So get used to it. If I stood up at a family reunion, right, barbecue, whatever, and said, hey, you guys know I'm in this New You Life business. Who wants to join? They're like, oh, Paul, please sit down, have a hot dog, be quiet. They'll throw popcorn at me, whatever. It's family, it's friends, right? If I stood up in an auditorium, if I put a post on social media, hey, who out there wants to make extra money? You're going to attract the crowd that wants exactly what you're looking for. Stop trying to convince your brother-in-law to do this and start looking for people who are looking, who already want what you want out of this business. And I hate to say it, you're going to find more strangers that want it. Strangers will respect you more. Let's say you were the guy or girl who in the last 10 years came up with 5 or 10 different cockamamie schemes that really didn't pan out, and they just hear you pitching another one. There was a really young guy like that. His name was Elon Musk. Always pitching these cockamamie crazy ideas, and I want to send rockets to the moon and everything else. Well, guess what? You know? So here's something that's a vehicle that anybody could do it if they put the work in. So first thing we want to do is play around in the tools. If out of these two, I'm going to reverse them because the list is more important than anything else. Everything else we can teach you. Now you have a website, right? And everybody's websites are actually, Peg, it's the other way around, right? It's right. So this is old, guys. So it's going to be your URL .newulife.com. So in other words, it's going to be Taryn.newulife.com, Paul.newulife.com, whatever you picked for that name. Now, here's going to tell you when you're coaching your people on that name. Don't make it too long. It's not your billboard. It's not your advertisement, right? People don't care. Make it as simple as possible. But we have an app, and in that app, you're going to be able to send a link. And that's the real reason. The way I want you to send your information to people is through the app. The app is free. You keep it on your phone. So everyone needs to be on that app. And I'm going to hook up my phone in a little bit and show you what it looks like. Okay. Get on the app, figure out how to get on the app. And then once you're on that app, do everything from there. And there's a good reason for it. The reason you want to do it through the app is because the app will notify you when somebody on the other end opens up and looks at something. If you send them your, hey, in a text, you send them HTTPS, whatever, Gordy.newulife.com or whatever you named your business, Gordy, right? You don't know if they opened it or not. If you send it through the app and you just click them and send them one link, it's tracking that. Because when you start doing this on a daily basis, when I start teaching you guys 5 over 5, and you'll see after 30, 60 days, how many people you're going to be juggling to build it, to bring it to your business, you will, you will really start to appreciate why you need a repository or, basically a handheld computer to keep track of everything you're doing. So you don't have to. Again, stop making this into a job for people. All right. So, who goes on the list? Everybody. I was working, this is no BS, I was working in New York City for a large publicly traded company, right? My base salary was $750,000 a year. And here I am. And I would never have tried to recruit me. Meanwhile, I'm happier now than I was then. Okay. I would never have tried to recruit me. And that was a big mistake because I'm the guy that was looking, right? I'm the guy who said, yeah, you know what? I don't know. I'll try it. Let me see. Here's the best part about it. I got in with an 8-pack. I really didn't think twice about, yes, thank God the money wasn't a big deal for me. but like that was the easy part. Getting me to roll with the 8-pack was the easy part. Spending $1,000 or $1,100 was the easy part for me. Doing something was the harder part for me. Even after I spent the $1,100, it took me to, I joined December. This is no kidding. You could, I'll prove it to you. I'll show you my back office someday and you'll see. I signed up December 24th of 2017. I didn't do anything until March of 2018. Even after spending $1,100. It's the God's honest truth, okay? Nothing until March of 2018. So just don't think because somebody comes in your business and spends some money means they're going to do anything, even if it's only a couple $100. It doesn't mean they're going to do anything, okay? So there's no, the number 3 is I ran out of people for my list. It is mathematically impossible. Somebody told me I have a distributor. He's a very, very talented guy, and he's what I would consider very right-leaning politically. And he said, I don't know, I'm very politically vocal, and I have some people who are very left-leaning politically, and they're very vocal. And my answer to them is, I think Trump had 75 million votes and Biden had 82 million votes. And here's what I said. I said, the minute you get those 75 million people to sign up who are, who view things the same way you do politically, then we'll worry about how you're going to recruit Democrats as a Republican. And I tell my Democratic friends the same thing. The minute you recruit the first 85 million people who voted for Biden and you get through all of them, then we'll worry about how you're going to find and go after Republicans. It doesn't matter. Here's what you're looking for. You're looking for people like you. Talk like you, react like you, think like you, and there'll be these subtle differences between you and someone else, and that's how your organization grows. That's how a Paul Capozio has a Peg Tucker in his organization. She doesn't really sound like me, right? But we have the same goals, right? We're more similar than we are different, which is really the case with everyone in the world. We just choose to see it differently. But so you want to add to your list daily. I'm going to show you how to do this. You're going to get into social media. Every one of you should be doing a post at least once or twice a week about the grand opening of your business. Hey, I'm so excited. You don't want to say I'm selling this stuff with the blue cap or this other stuff, MLT. Stop running commercials because what do we do when the only time anybody watches commercials is the Super Bowl. And they spend millions on those commercials, so you'll watch them, right? But other than that, people are avoiding commercials. What they are excited about is themselves. So if you say, I finally did it, I'm taking a shot at entrepreneurship, you want people to have that social media bravado and say, well, if Taryn could do it, I could do it better. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for people that saying, oh my God, if she could do it, I could do it, right? That's exactly what you're trying to attract, all right? Now, what do you do with the list? You need to work it every single day, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I have a system called 5 over 5. Number 7 is probably as important as stop reading books and stop doing all the prep work and start doing the most important thing, which is talking to people and expressing to them that you're doing something different. Time allocation. If you don't put aside a certain amount of time every day. I don't care if it's 15 minutes a day. I don't care if it's a half hour, an hour, 3/4 of an hour, 3 hours a day, 4 hours on a Wednesday, and half an hour on a Tuesday. I don't care, but you need to put aside certain time every day, just like exercise, just like, making sure you don't run out of gas in your car. If you don't do this, I promise you, you're going to be calling and saying, Paul, I don't think this works. I spent $500 or I spent $200 and nothing's happening. And we're going to have that conversation. I know it sounds like, well, Paul, isn't this, there's no magic secret. We have to talk to people. There are plenty of people that are paying. I paid for a dozen jumbo eggs. I paid almost $7. It was like $6.80 for a dozen jumbo eggs. I paid close to $7 for a pound of butter. I'm not talking about steak, whatever. Now, we did have a crown roast this year. I won't even get into it because it's obnoxious how much we paid for it, but it was Christmas and thank God it was okay. But I was more upset about what I paid for the eggs and the butter then, well, I bought butter about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I've been ranting on the price of butter because Linda does most of the shopping. But then I ran out Christmas Eve and I went for eggs, and she wanted to get me 2 dozen eggs for breakfast. We had a lot of people over, and it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous, almost $14 for 2 dozen eggs. I could have taken people out for breakfast. Sending the videos. That's about the app. This is going to change, guys. You're seeing a very old, this is what I did when I first started the business. And by following this system, I recruited over 230 some odd people. I don't know if it's 34 or 38 or 36 in my first year in this business, just by following this system. And trust me, we made it a lot better. Now, there's Facebook groups. When you bring somebody in the business, when you're getting in the business, you need to be in all the Facebook groups. Yes, your phone's going to go off and people are going to say, oh my God, look how cute my dog is. Or, you know, we have the Empower Hour calls. Get in all of that, because when you sift through the community, you're going to find really good nuggets on how people are being successful. And you may hear something, see something, or learn something from somebody who really fits the way you like to build. All right. I don't like to force you into a certain way, but it's got to be duplicatable, because what you do, your people do. Product invite and opportunity invite. You're doing 2 things. You must be aware that there are people that probably don't even care what they have to sell, as long as they have to sell something so they can make money. We like the fact that we have really good products, and they're 60-day money-back guarantee, and probably the leading products in our industry that actually do something, right? There's a lot of companies that sell vitamin C tablets. I'm sure they're very good vitamin C tablets, and they're the best quality vitamin C you can get and all of that stuff. But when you take a vitamin C, do you really feel anything? And right now, people, if they're going to spend any money on anything, they want results. But I have found that people that are suffering from what, you know, my wife was suffering from, and other people, which are millions and millions of people, meaning Hashimoto's and other ailments that the gel happens to cure, or people who are eating. Right now, this product is going to be something big that you guys need to start promoting, because what are the 2 biggest New Year's resolutions? Getting in better shape and making more money. So you have both of those solutions in your hands. I'd rather see you put a poll on social media, you know, hey, of the 2 top New Year's resolutions, which one are you more interested in this year? Losing weight or making more money, or getting in better health or making more money. Peg can show you how to make a poll like that. Now, what you're doing is the people who vote, you're going to follow up, you know? So what are you doing? So most people would say they do a poll like that on social media, right? Sorry, I'm a little congested. They do the poll, and then they'll say, okay, everybody who said make more money, I'm going to send them the opportunity video. And everybody who said I want to get in better shape, I'm going to send them the MLT video. No, what you want to do is you want to ask them, well, first question is, well, what are you going to do to get in better shape? Why has that been a problem for you getting in better shape? Because they may say, well, I had a hysterectomy, versus I just eat too much. Well, guess what? Eat too much is an MLT person. Hysterectomy is a somaderm person, or something like that. I'm using very, so understanding that your job is to solve a problem that they have, not try to sell them a product that they don't know they need. You need to make sure that you're spending a little bit of time. The beauty of network marketing is that we can be professional shoppers or custom shoppers for them. Don't sell them something you want them to buy. Sell them something that they need, and then they'll be back. So don't try to make your $1 million a year all in one person, right? I want you to just, adopt and get loyal customers that you treated right. Trust me, it works. People last. I still have my very first customer, still. All right, so we know that there's going to go for product. And then there are other people who just care about the opportunity. I will tell you, you need both. You need customers, right? But also, if you want to really make a significant income in this thing, and significant is whatever you deem significant, I mean, I have people that significant is, hey, my car payment is $250 a month or $400 a month. And if I can make my car payment and take that pressure off myself and just make my car payment every month, and then I'll pay my rent and everything else, that is significant for them. Okay. It's not going out and buying a brand new home, step one. It doesn't work that way. Okay. You could ask the guy from Sam Bankman-Fried, who's in jail right now because he did the whole crypto scam. All right, let's keep going. Oh, there's some scripts in here. You can take pictures of these if you want or whatever. Did you get a chance to check out that Facebook group? Unbelievable, right? Let me tell you when I wanted to talk. Peg, talk about a little bit about inviting them to a testimonial page and a follow-up on that.
Sure. Yeah, that's, Paul, that's like my number one thing. I love inviting people to the testimonial group because people love to see what other people's experiences, not just yours, right? And
Correct.
especially before you've had your experience, it's really valuable to say, I don't know, I just got started. I've had no results yet, but you got to check out what's happening for people. So I send them an invite. And I'll put this in a group. I'll text all of this to you. It has a link to the testimonial group. I go into the group then once they've accepted the invite, I tag them in a couple posts and then I go back and I say, hey, I tagged you in a couple posts to get you started. What questions can I answer for you? And I'm going to tell you what happens with that is I've got so many people that I go through the system with that I oftentimes, I'll let it slip through the cracks. And sometimes someone from 2 months ago will reach out to me and say, okay, I've seen enough. How do I order? Without my even having done another step. So that's the power of those groups. So don't disregard them. People love to see what other people are experiencing. And it also gives them an opportunity to feel like they're doing their research themselves. You're not selling them something. It allows them to sell themselves on the product.
Well, which people have to go through. There are certain people who buy different ways. Certain people do not want to buy from the salesman. They'll go into an automotive showroom, right? They know they want this Corvette or this, Chevy, whatever, Volt or whatever, or Cadillac Escalade, whatever it may be. They're going to go in, they want to check it out themselves, and they'd rather just deal with the salesman to fill out the paperwork. They don't want to hear all the great stuff because they did all their research online, right? Let those people have that experience. Let people experience the process the way they want to experience it. The problem, though, sometimes with those people is letting them understand that you need to respect other people's processes too. And when they become a distributor, those people can be difficult because they think that everyone wants to do it that way. Well, if you want to learn about the product, do like I did and go to the pages and go. No, some people want to be served. Some people want you to explain it all to them. No, I don't want to look in the back over. Just explain to me, why would I take this if I had this problem, or which product should I take? They don't want to do that research. So you need to understand that you go through your process. But when you're starting to duplicate your business, how are you going to make sure somebody in Iowa is going to be building the same way you are building in upstate New York, Peg? Or I'm somebody in California who's building the same way I build in New Jersey, so we have continuity. The reason we do that is we have systems. But, utilize the groups because people will do it at their own pace. And it's also a great way to pitch them and let them follow up with themselves. Tag them in if they tell you, oh yeah, well, I'm really concerned about my weight, or oh, I had I have low testosterone as a man, or whatever. And then somebody goes in the testimonial page and writes about their testosterone. Just tag them in that. Tag them in that specific thing. And it's a way to follow up without calling them up and saying, are you ready yet? Are you ready to buy yet? Are you ready to join yet? Are you ready to go yet? Use these other methods, which are much more polite. And people will appear to have their own choice in the matter. Certain people don't like to be forced into things. Now, I will tell you, on the other end of the spectrum, there are people who will need you to make the decision for them. They're more of a follower. And they may have some really great skill set, like talking to people or knowing a lot of people, but for some reason, they just can't maximize on that. They can't take advantage of it. They don't know how, or they're a little too shy to do it, but yet they know everybody and everybody knows and trusts them. It's your job as a leader to drill down through them and make them successful. But the more people you add to this, the more people that you bring into this organization, the more successful you're going to be. It's just a ways. This slide is really more of the same, so I'm not going to get into it. So I'm going to go. Oh, okay. So I'm going to refix some of those slides, but this is essentially what your organization will look like in the back office when you start building it. You'll see yourself at the top, and then you'll start building these people, and then you could like drill down and see. I'm just giving you a visual representation. Now, you don't see this when you first go in your back office, and the reason you don't see this is because you have to go to the genealogy. There's so much to see and so much to look at. All right, and we'll get to that. But I just want to give you a little bit of a preview. And this is how you place people, but we're not going to get into that yet. Okay. You can see here it says place from holding tank. Every time you sign someone up in the business, it's going to change. If you see here, it says available. Well, those are the available positions you have to bring people in the business. And I'll explain to you about placement. Don't do it yourself. Let us do the first 5 with you, and then you'll learn it from there. But these are available. But when you have someone, let's say you just signed someone up about an hour ago, those screens are going to change, and you could place people here from the holding tank and figure out where you want to put them. I will tell you, for the most part, you always want to keep them to the outside, but don't get confused. I will coach you on this. The best way to learn it is to have to place someone. And as you place them, you will learn more and more about it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to a different slide now. And I want to go through, no, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so Peg, tell me what else you'd like me to go over, but I want to get into 5 over 5 because I think it's something they need to start today. And if I start, go ahead.
Just the launch call and inviting to that, and why we do that.
Well, that comes after UI.
Right.
So I go, we go into launch, but we'll get into the launch call. You know what I mean? It goes after you invite.
Yep.
What do we invite them to?
Yep.
So we do 5, we call it 5 over 5. And your goal is to do 5 things, right? 5 times a day. That's not right. It's really five individual things 5 times. That's really what 5 over 5 is. You can get this done in a half an hour if you do it right, maybe an hour, but you do 5 things 5 times. Now, you're not going to be able to do 2, 3, 4, and 5 yet because you just got started. But the first thing you're going to start doing is 5 new outreaches a day. You want to reach out to 5 new people a day. You're not going to give them a TV commercial. You're not going to send them the app. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to say, oh my God, you got to see this thing. That might happen if they ask you, but you're going to get 5 new people that you don't know or you know and haven't spoken to in a long time and say, hey, thanks for commenting on my post. It's great to meet you. Can we be friends on Facebook? Hey, I got your business card from the bulletin board at church that you clean cars or you clean houses or whatever. And I really wanted to meet you because I'm in my own small business. I want to know how it's going for you, and you're not selling them anything. You're meeting them. You want to outreach to 5 new people every single day. If you do that, right, in 60 days, you will have 300 people that I would consider contacts. Not leads, not people who are going to join your business, just 300 people who are contacts. Now, let's assume today's Monday and you did your 5 new outreaches. Well, guess what? Maybe today you could do 10 because you don't have the other steps to do yet. As you're building step 1, let's say on Tuesday, you're going to do the same thing. 5 new outreaches. Hey, wanted to be friends with you. An outreach could be something as simple as a friend request on Facebook. It could be liking or following somebody on Instagram, right? But number 2 is 5 new conversations a day. Hey, I followed you yesterday on Instagram. And I'm really impressed by how you do those videos with your dog. Or I really love the fact that you did your own Christmas tree decorations and blah, blah, blah. Whatever it may be, right? You have 5 new conversations that day. And you're going to say, well, Paul, when do I get around with selling them stuff? And there will be times, and you will get good enough at this where you don't have to go through 5 steps to do it. But trust me, what you need to do right now is build a pipeline. Build a pipeline of people that you're communicating with on some level. You go say, well, Paul, I did 5 conversations, started 5 conversations yesterday, and nobody got back to me. Well, then you didn't do 5 conversations. 5 conversations are two-way conversations. So what you're looking for is 5 responses. And you go, well, Paul, of those 5 people that didn't do anything, what do I do about them? Oh, well, you could keep them on and put them towards tomorrow's 5 conversations. Maybe they'll respond, but they probably told you everything you need to know about them. They're probably not communicative people. They're really not social, and they're probably not going to be good at the business. Now, there's no proof in that. But instead of trying to sit and hatch one egg at a time, I want you to think about, just having, like just rows and rows and rows of contacts that you're constantly working with, right? So many people, let me wait for this one to get back to me and I'll work them and then I'll go. No, you need to be moving with tons and tons of people. Here's what I tell you guys every time to make sure you're doing this right. When you call me up and say, Paul, you're not going to believe this. I had this person and we were talking and going back and forth. I sent them the video and I completely forgot to follow up with them. I completely forgot. They were practically ready to join and I forgot to call them like a week ago. When that happens, you're doing it right. Because for the most part, you're going to be trying to force people into the business and you're going to aggravate them. Most people in this business will either go too fast, right? Showing them the product before you even said hello to them, right? Hey, you want to buy this from me? Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, good morning. How are you? Right? Most people go too soon, or you'll go too long when the person's giving you all the possible signals that they want to join your organization and you just don't pick up on it because you're too nervous about it. It's all okay. We'll train you through that. But if you're not doing 1, 2, and now 3, right? 3 is very simple. Once you have enough conversations going, right? Remember, if you had in 60 days, if you have 5 new outreaches going, and then, you're going to have 300 people, well, you're also going to have 300 plus conversations going at the same time. And you're also adding more people. You never stop step 1. You never stop step 2 because you're building your funnel. You're building this pipeline of people to talk to. Instead of trying to force one person at a time to do this with you, which is what most people do, you let people tell you where they're going. I don't want to take my camera. My camera's rigged up to my thing, but I have a whiteboard, right? And Peg's seen it a million times, and it has columns, right? And I move people from column to column, from an outreach to a conversation, from a conversation to an exposure. So what's an exposure? Have you ever thought about being in your own business? Have you ever owned your own business? Have you ever thought about, would you like to join our own business? Or product people, would you like to learn a little bit more about a product that I'm representing? Or have you ever had back problems or weight problems or this or that? That goes to exposure. And what is an exposure? An exposure is sending them a video from your app. You're at the point now where they're going to watch a commercial. Okay. So you outreach to new people, meet new people, start having conversations with those new people, and some of them are going to give you the signals that they're ready to take a look at something. Hey, what is it you do? Or I see you posted a video about how you lost so much weight, or hey, you invited me into this testimonial page, and I saw that one person has Hashimoto's disease, and she did really good, right? Oh, let me send you a video. So when you're building this chain of people coming in and out of your world, right, you're going to get to the exposure stage. Right? You can ask people, because not everybody says, hey, I want to watch a video. So you could ask them, have you ever, would you like? I don't give you the whole script. People love scripts. Hi, my name is Peg, and I would like to tell you today about, and you cut and paste this and put it. Nobody talks that way. So I like to give you the first 3 or 4 words of a sentence, and you take it from there so it sounds like you. Would you like to take a look at something? Would you like to learn about how I lost my weight loss journey? Have you ever decided to think about, additional income with the economy going the way it's going? So so step 3 is 5 new exposures every day. When you get to the point where you're sending 5 videos, or you're inviting 5 people to a launch call, which we'll get into a minute, or, 5 people that you're inviting into the testimonial pages, those are exposures. The minute you start really honestly doing exposures, and I want you to divorce yourself from the outcome and marry the process of 5 over 5. Stick to doing 5 over 5. You'll get better at it. But if you don't build that up, you're going to have nobody to work with 60 days from now. Yes, we'll talk to your brother-in-law, we'll talk to your sister, you're going to be mowing the lawn or shoveling the snow, and your next door neighbor is going to talk to you, and you're going to be all excited about this stuff, and your neighbor's going to be polite, right? And he's going to say, yeah, I'll take a look at it. We'll talk to him. But what are the odds that you and your next door neighbor in the same week want to start a new business? What are the odds of that? It's very, very slim. That's why I want to tell you that the world is really what you're looking for right now. And if the minute you start accepting that part of the business, instead of looking to your left and looking to your right, then it's going to start making a difference for you. Then you're going to start seeing, because there's people out there that are looking for what you have right now. And chances are it's not your local librarian. Okay? Even though you know them, and she needs a new sweater because the sweater's got moth holes in it or whatever, and it's not always the people who are the people who are going to do. So now let's keep going. Step 4 is 5 follow-ups a day. Well, if for the last week you have been exposing 5 people every day, so let's take it 7 days. Hold on really quick, right? So is 35. So let's say today is next Sunday, and you have 5 new exposures every day. That's 35 people. Don't you think at the end of 7 days, you'll have 5 people to follow up with? Hey, Fred, last Monday I sent you a video, or I invited you to the page. Did you get a chance to see it? Did you like anything that was there? Okay. Or, hey, Fred, when we spoke last week and I sent you that video, you told me your son had Little League and he was going to start in the, he was the game, or he was going to finally get his first time, he's going to be quarterback. Whatever that is, make notes of your people. Sometimes a follow-up is just always not, are you ready yet? Are you ready to buy yet? Are you ready to make me rich? Because some people, that's what they hear. They don't hear their success. They're upset about their creating your success. Why? Why do people feel that way? They feel that way because that's what your job is. You've been trained and coached that if you go to work for someone else, yeah, you'll get a decent paycheck, but you're making somebody else, the guy that sits behind the desk, very rich. And that bothers people, right? So that means you did not present what's in it for them. You presented what's in it for you. I love when people call me up in this business because they know I'm a leader, right? They know I have lots of people in my organization and I know how to build. And they said, oh my God, you know what it would mean if I brought you into my organization? If I got you to join my team, what that would mean? That would be phenomenal, right? Now, they may not say those exact words, but if you're not telling me why I should stop what I'm doing here and go do it with you somewhere else and what's in it for me, not what's in it for you, why would I be interested in that? And you have to realize that when you're talking to people that, yes, you're trying to build your business. Many of you are just trying to get your money back that you spent to say, oh my God, my wife or my husband or my significant other is driving me crazy because I just spent $200 on this thing that we didn't have. Well, if you could spend $200 and make $20 a week, right? Do you think that's a bad investment? Absolutely not. Where are you going to invest or go put $200 in your savings account and see how much the bank is going to pay you every week, every month, or every year in interest. So start thinking small so you could think big. Even if you spend $1,000 and you were making $40 a week, right? You sold some product, you got your money back or whatever. It's tremendous opportunity. because you can't take that money and stick it in. Even if you bought a stock, chances are now, if you bought a stock right now, it's going to be worth half. We're going into an even further recession. So look at it from the right perspective. If you sit down and tell somebody, listen, if you go out, you get a handful of people, you make yourself $20 a week, $30 a week, right? After spending a couple of $100. How is that a bad deal? How are you going to get yourself out of a hole? Because everybody's looking to win the lottery. It's amazing how many people, will buy that, including me, will buy that ticket. When the lottery was what, $1 billion or $2 billion, whatever it was, the largest lottery thing ever, people were buying tickets like crazy, right? Meanwhile, I have people that are still waiting, to join this business. And I understand things are tight right now, but it takes a little bit of sweat equity. Yes, somebody did win that lottery, and it's nobody that's on this call. And chances are it's not going to be for the next one. The next one is 525,000. It's this 525 million. It's the sixth largest lottery right now that ever existed. Right? Still would be a good deal. And there's still people going to spend 20, $30 on that versus getting 20, $30 a week. Just think like that for now. I don't want to say you Ferraris and all that. Hey, look, you want a Ferrari, put a picture. The best thing I can tell you is get a picture of a Ferrari, put it on your refrigerator and look at it every day. So make sure you start with the first 20. Then we'll get you to the next 40. Then we'll get you to the next 80 and we'll go on from there. I say it over and over again. I've created thousands of people who are making an income right now. Some are making $20 a week. Some are making $7,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 a week. I got people in Korea making over $1 million already. And we only launched there, but we didn't even officially launch there. They started working with them 18 months ago, right? Why? Because they see things differently than we do. They don't sit there with their arms folded and said, everything's a scam, everything's this is that, this is not for me. They don't do that over there, right? They see what it takes. What does it take, Paul, for me to make my first $100? Paul, show me how to make my original investment back. And once they know how to make their original investment back, which is introducing it to more people or getting more customers, they'll say, well, wait a second, if 4 customers did that, what would 8 do? We're smart people over here. We can figure it out. Okay. Sorry, but all of this stuff, these fancy slides and everything I'm showing you mean nothing if you don't have the drive or the desire to do it or realize, and start with the damn 20 or $40 a week. Let's just start there. Okay, get yourself 4 or 5 people who are going to join and do the same thing. Let's get them to do 20 or 40, and now you're making 100. So after you follow up with 5 people, and after you're doing this for 30 days or so, right, you're going to be able to say, hey, I made a new friend. I started to have conversations with them. I exposed them to the business, the products, the calls. I followed up with them, and now I'm ready to make a decision. Now, you could do that on a launch call or a private one-on-one call and say, hey, listen, I want to get you on the phone with Paul or with Peg and Paul and me, and we want to really just kind of make sure we have all your questions answered. Are you ready to make a difference? Because it's time for that call. Sometimes people need to, no, I'm not ready yet. Well, what is it that you're not ready about? Being successful? Or I don't want you to be pushy, but there comes a time where there will be people who will just join you just to be your friend, just to be part of your community. We need to determine that. That's okay. There are people who are here that they're maybe going to bring in 2 or 3 people in the business over the next year, and they want to be part of something because maybe they're getting more out of this than a paycheck. Maybe they're getting a sense of community. Maybe we uplift them. Maybe they're lonely, whatever that may be. But as long as they're getting a benefit out of the product. But on the other hand, there's going to be somebody who's really, really ready to make a decision. You want to recruit people who have a bigger vision for this than you do. And that's really what people make. Another mistake that people make is you keep thinking that you have to do it all instead of finding the people who want it more than you. So if you're not the person who's going to sit up nights and work 24 hours a day like the Koreans do to build this business, right? Recruit a Korean, right? Or recruit. So you have to understand that it's like buying the lottery ticket, right? And everyone else's money is pooled together. That's the beauty of this business. The lottery ticket aspect of this is that you bought that ticket for 20 or you got in here for $199 or 140 or 500, whatever you spent, it doesn't matter. Then you can spend up to $1,000, right? You did that for the hopes of the return based on your efforts and the efforts of thousands of others. I'm going to tell you right now, I have tens of thousands of people in my organization, tens of thousands. I'm only doing this for 5 years. Is it worth 5 years to have tens of thousands of people that are making 5% of this one and 10% of that one and 15% of that one? So don't give up on yourself and don't make this harder than it really is. Set your expectations properly, but do the 5 over 5, because if you have no one to talk to in 3 to 4 days from now, it just means that you didn't do this. That's all it means. If you have no one that Peg can try to sift through your leads and sift through that list, because this is how people get on your list, right? You do the 5 over 5, people go on a list, you make your list, and then you figure out, who they are and what they're all about. You could look them up on Facebook. I want you to get to the point where it doesn't matter. Everybody's life looks great on Facebook. Oh my God, she's wearing a Gucci belt, and look at this. There's pictures of her. She's eating a McDonald's thing in a BMW. You don't know if it's her BMW, and maybe it is, right? But she's got to pay for it somehow. So everybody needs something. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Stop making this all about you and making it about other people. If you're an introvert and you don't like to talk to people, well, start going after people who do love to talk. I love when I get an extrovert on the call because I don't have to do anything. I just sit back and listen and let them go. And that's so if you're shy, recruit people who aren't shy, right? If you're an extrovert, right, and yet you're very unorganized, recruit an introvert who wants you to help them build a business. And they'll say, look, they'll keep you organized. They'll keep you organized so that you can go and keep talking to people. And what do? When we go back to some of those slides about building people underneath, you take that, and you're the extrovert, you love talking to people, but you don't follow up, you don't do any of that. You put that introverted person below and say to them, listen, I'm going to start putting people under you if you would send out the videos, if you would do the follow-up or remind me to follow up with them, and I'll help build that line. So if you're an extrovert, recruit 2 introverts, one left and one right underneath you. Then let them do the same thing. An introvert recruits an extrovert, and you start that all over again. Stop thinking you have to do it all. Stop thinking about your personality type is the only personality type that you're going to see. And if someone wants this more than you, as long as they're on your team, you'll never regret that. You'll never regret that. You won't. Peg, is there anything you wanted to share?
No, I think you covered it all, Paul. I first of all, I want to say I'm really excited that the 3 of you are on today. You're all brand new. I want to give you a really high five for hopping on here and spending an hour with us. And I'm so excited to work with you. I did record this, so it'll be a tool that when you bring people in, you can share with them, because it's always good to have. And by the way, Paul, I love those slides.
I think we gotta kind of doll them up a little bit,
but I thought they were really good. And and inviting people to the calls, getting myself or Paul on a call, and then eventually the 3 of you, you'll find you can use each other too for support. Right. You can say, hey, Gordy, you can say, hey, this is my friend Taryn, and she just started too, but this is what she's doing this business for. That third party validation, I think, is really important for people to see that they're not alone and that everybody's helps each other. So, Paul, I appreciate you.
I'm going to end with a little bit of a joke. All right, if that's okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is something you're going to have to get used to. And I love this, and I use this a lot, for that people are only going to hear a small portion of what you say. Okay. And they're going to really really just blow over everything. Though this is why, and this will prove to you why you need to post your grand opening over and over again. So the grand opening post is like, hey, I finally did it. I became an entrepreneur. Stop putting the commercials up about the products and start putting up a commercial about you. All right, that you have done something. You have started something new. You want to create excitement. You never want to satisfy someone's curiosity. You want to increase their curiosity so they ask you a question. Well, Gordy, what is it that you're doing? Brian, what's this entrepreneur BS that you do? Who cares how they respond to you? You ever hear the term, any press is good press or bad press is still good press, right? So you want to push the whole idea of asking questions. And you're going to say, well, Paul, I'm posting this every day for the last 30 days. People are going to get upset. No, read this. Hi, my name is Alicia, and I will be selling apple pies from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. for only $5. If you would like one, please call me at 999, blah, 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 right? Now, this is how people will respond to you. Oh my God, I want one. How much are they? Oh, I want to get a pie. What kind are you selling? I just sent you a DM. Can you please send me info on how to get a pie? Right? Yes, I love pies. How could I order one? Right? Hello, I have sent several emails and no one will email me back. And I really want to buy a pie. Right? And what's the latest I can get a pie? I need to know the cutoff time. Now, if you read what she wrote, right? Hi, my name is Alicia. I'll be selling apple pies from 2 to 6 for only $5. Price is there, time is there. And if you'd like one, call me. Don't email, but this will happen to you. I promise. People are going to be like, well, I sent you an email and you never got back to me. Well, I never gave you an email. I told you I'd DM you direct messaging. What I'm trying to get you is get ready. I want you to manage your own expectation, right? That you're going to say, well, I sent people this information and they ghosted me, right? No, they're stupid. They're just like, this is, this happens all the time. Just go on Instagram or Facebook when people post things and how wrong they get it.
Can I just say
Right?
something, Paul?
Yeah, of course.
About the launch post or the starting a business post. I think it's really important to, like, in that example where she says, call me, or this is how you get it. I think it's really important to stop before that in this particular case. So when you're doing a launch post, or I just started a business, or as Paul said, I just started my entrepreneurial journey, wish me luck, leave it there. Don't put contact me or direct message me, because then immediately that turns into you're looking for a sale, right? So you want to just leave it hanging. You want to just pique curiosity. When people say, well, what is it? Tell me more about it. Taryn, what are you doing? Then you want to say, direct message me, and take it over to direct messenger. And right. You never want to make a sale in your timeline. You never want to make it feel like you're trying to sell something.
Well, here's another thing. And then when they say, what are you doing? Most people's reaction is, let me send you a video. No, you tell them what you're doing. You want to make it seem like it's not for them, because you don't know if it's for them. Mm-hmm. Because let me tell you, bringing someone in your business who wants to aggressively build is great. Bringing someone in your business who you kind of coerced into building, or they kind of want it but don't, is a lot of work for you. You're not going to be able to imagine if out of 30,000, 40,000 people, I needed to speak to every single one of them every single day for my business to grow. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. So you need to create leaders below, and you can't drag people in to be successful kicking and screaming. You just can't do it. It won't grow. You want to have people who are as independent as possible. These are some of the launch script we use. I use, like, if you want to make it fun, I was in the lemonade stand, whatever, that kind of stuff. So, so your main goals are making an announcement on a regular basis that's going to be curiosity provoking, right? Hey, I finally did it. I have my own business. I'm really excited about this. Wish me luck, that kind of thing. Start your 5 over 5. Start reaching out to people, right? And don't worry about what to say. You don't have to get back to the person within 3 seconds. In fact, when someone texts you and you don't text them back for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or even the next day, they're not going to feel like you're going to be a haunt to them. Be busy. Be busy.
Yeah, right, I literally hold myself back. I have to sit on my hands almost sometimes when my phone buzzes, and because I don't want to be like, yes, I was waiting for that. Yes.
Wait. What's the solution to that? The solution to that is more. Yeah. If you're busy and say, I want to get these 20 texts out and then I'm done for the day, right? And you cut and paste them, or, 20 texts you could do in no time, right? Hi, Peg, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to reach out to you, say hello, whatever, and everything. I'm glad you watched the video. Maybe we could talk next week, whatever. Like all of that stuff. don't, if text person number 1 responds back to you, right? Finish the rest of the 20 and then go back and respond to them. Be busy, because that's how your business is going to work. Get used to that. Otherwise, you're going to stop, go back, talk to them, right? Maybe talk too soon, right? Or say something too soon, follow the process. And then you're going to forget to follow up on the other 20 because you're going to say, well, I got this one now. Why do I need those other 19 when I got this one to talk to? That's thinking small. Because what happens, you'll drop 19 to work the 1, when in that 19, there's probably another 1 or 2. And in fact, they may be the one who's taking up your time. Think about this. Oh, well, what is this? And why are you sending this to me? And so is that really a good scenario? And he goes, well, Paul, why doesn't this person want to do it? Well, how many people are truly successful out there that you know? Truly successful. If you're expecting everyone to get it, then you're going to be very frustrated, right? So yes, I got a slide here I want to tell you. Okay, yes, right? You're going to love to hear this word. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, see, you don't have to be smart to build this business, right? So I just proved that. So yes, everyone loves yes. Everyone thinks yes is going to go. Oh my God, they joined my business. They did. Hold on, somebody put something in the chat. Let me see. Any questions? Oh, okay, that was Peg. All right, so everyone loves to hear the word yes. What's going to really, really create you are the no's. Yeses will build your paycheck. No's are going to build you to be able to handle. So people are going to say no. People, have you ever walked into a department store and somebody says, may I help you? And your answer is, no, thank you. I'm just looking. Well, the first word is no, right? So get used to it. It's how we all respond, okay? All right, now, no's will build you, okay? And you cannot build a big organization without being able to handle no's and then teaching your people to handle no, because I was a no for 10 years. So understanding all the nuances of that, okay? I won't get into list psychology because we're going to go. Remember, your warm market, people you know, only have to hear about the idea. They know you already. But the cold market, they need to know you. So in the cold market, people you don't know or people that are on Instagram or Facebook, just become a friend first, all right? BFF, be friends first. Gordy's got a question. What's up, brother? Unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, there's a hum in my computer for some reason, but hear that? It'll go away in a second. I don't know what causes that.
That's your fan. That's your cooling fan is in trouble.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking with everything you said, Paul. I appreciate your presentation. So I've got about 1,000 people on my Facebook list, and I'm thinking about sending some kind of greeting out to them along with my website page. I mean, what do you think about that? Is that something just to?
No, because they're not going to, because you're hitting them up with buy right now. I don't even know you buy right now. It's kind of what we were talking about a little bit. And I get it. I understand your point. But if you try to hit them up that you've never had a conversation with them before, to go say, hey man, great to meet you, by the way, and here's my website, go buy something from me. You're not going to get the response that you think you're going to get. Okay, but you might want to have a series of 5 or 6 emails or 5 or 6 contacts because you want to see who's going to respond. If you send, and by the way, if you do my system of 5 over 5, you'll have 5,000. I have 2 Facebook pages, both maxed out at 5,000. Okay, just by doing that. All right, and I could max out another one. But if you do that right away, that quick hit, you're going to get a no. More no's than if you build. Go ahead, Peg.
So Gordy put in that these are your lifelong friends, and that's great. But I think what you want to do, Gordy, is get them to be asking you a question. So if you say, hey, I just started something new, I'm really excited. Leave it, even if that, right, Paul's starting a conversation where they can ask you for it. You don't want to give it. You don't want to assume their position before they let you know what their position is, right? So you want to,
go ahead.
No, you want them to, the more you can get them asking, oh, you just started something new, it's really exciting. Well, what is it? Oh, I'm representing this product that is incredible. I'm so excited about it. Well, what is it? The more they ask, the less they're going to feel like, oh, he's trying to sell me something.
No, I get it. And you also want to say, hey, here's my website. I got my own business. That's good, but I want you to hold back. But he said something interesting, right?
Mhm.
Most of these people are his lifelong friends. So he's got something that's rare, which is a lot of people that he's very, very close to, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, even if it's not all 1,000 of them, you know, whatever. So that's a little bit different. So that's why we got to like accept what he's telling us. But the still the point is you don't want to hit him right between the eyes right away. You want to have more of a process. So what I would do is I would probably do the campaign first, the posts at the same time. Hey guys, great to meet out with you guys. I really could use your help. And so another way to do this, Gordy, is what's called the leapfrog. You ask them to help you, you never ask them. Okay, so like you want to jump over them and say, hey, listen, I just started this new business. Can really use your help. So, and then they're going to say, Gordy, then they're going to say, well, wait, what about me? Why didn't you like think about, oh, no, you know, so do that whole thing because there's the fear of missing out, right? Got this, really excited about it, need your help, you know, want to meet some people. Now, Peg, go into the launch call because the launch call is a great way to say, hey, listen, I don't want you to buy anything. I don't want you to join anything. I need you to take a look at what I'm doing and Tuesday night or Wednesday night at 7 o'clock or whatever. And we can do a custom one for you. It doesn't matter. So go ahead, get into that a little bit, Peg.
Well, this has been something that we started several months ago doing on a regular basis on Wednesday evenings at 7 Eastern. So to give new people a place to invite, like as Paul said, I'm not looking for you to join anything, not looking for you to buy anything, just come see what I'm doing. I use it on a regular basis. It's not just for new people, right? But I use it it's a great, very informative. Paul does a really good presentation. A few of us will come on and talk about what our experience has been with the product, what our experience has been, how the business has changed our life, how we feel about the company. So that's a really great, and as Paul said, we can do them custom. If you've got a group of people that can't make it on Wednesday night, or just a couple people you want to get on a call, this is just one that you can count on that is available on Wednesday nights. Also Tuesday nights, we have the Freedom Call, which tomorrow night Paul and I are doing, hopefully. So that's another thing that you can invite people. So we've got all these events that you can invite people to so that you don't have to do the work. You can let us do the work. Back to you, Paul.
Yeah, I'm texting Joe.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
So
now here's the other thing I want to say. We say don't join anything. You don't have to join anything or you don't have to buy anything. I don't say that when I invite people to it. Okay. I want them to join. I want them to buy. But what happens in the beginning, people are a little self-conscious or apprehensive, and, you know, they haven't really been able to approach the confidence level with their contacts. So we basically do the take it away technique. You don't have to join anything. You don't have to buy. These are very old 1950s sales techniques, but they're easy and they're proven and they work, right? Yeah, well, listen, bottom line is the law enforcement guys, and there are some law enforcement and fire department guys too that are in that, you know, can really share. Hold on, I'm just texting Joe about tomorrow night.
So yeah,
Peg, if that's the case, I'm going to need you to do, you know how Joe does the announcement for the Freedom Call?
I can do that.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to do the what's called it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And did anyone else have any questions to start out? I'm going to stop the recording now, Paul.
Yeah, sure.